Growing up, a lot of black boys are always taught to never show signs of sensitivity and to always be tough. But how does this play out when he becomes a man, from an emotional and mental health standpoint? Think about it for you. How frustrated are you when you feel like no one is hearing you out? Why do you think it's taboo for young black boys to be sensitive? I know for me personally, I've witnessed, a black male crying, and you can hear somebody say, you need to suck it up, you being a bitch, or you need to man up.
Right.
Why is that taboo in our community?
I give it straight to the black community. I can dig into systematic oppression. I can dig into racism and slavery, how that's fed down to the black family, but we perpetuate it. And what we've done is we've made it where the black boy can't even grow up and discover for himself what it is to be a man. So I hold it all on the black community. We perpetuate that you have to be strong, that you have to be an athlete, that you have to look a certain way and stand and walk a certain way as a black man. So until we're able to change that and switch that dialogue and stop pushing that, perpetuate that stereotype on our black kids, it's going to stay the same.
Why do we have to be strong? Or not we, why do you all have to be strong all the time? Like, I know that has to get tiring. Like, why do y'all, as a black man, why do you have to be strong all the time?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the mantra of the big black Hulk, the big black Mandingo. It's this thing that the black community holds up high. And, not to blame black women, but from my mother to my grandmother, they were very responsible for me kind of shunning those emotions and making sure that stand up straight. And I'm from a single parent household, so it was very big for my mother to impress that upon me, to make sure I'm standing up straight, that my head is always held up high, that I act like a man is supposed to. So back to the black community, they push that, they perpetuate those stigmas on us.
I'm happy you said that. So what happens to a black boy who's not taught how to process his emotions? How does that transpire when he becomes a man?
I have these conversations a lot with my mentees and with my mentors as well. It affected me in my relationship with my wife. When we first got together, within a month, she told me, if you can't grasp how to love me and be emotionally intelligent with me, I can't mess with you. And she told me that within a month. And that's because I didn't know how to process. I didn't know how to comfort her when she went through things. Even when she lost her mother, I really didn't know how to, and we were married by then, I didn't know how to comfort her. And that's a huge thing, because if you don't start as a child, when you grow up as a man, you won't be able to do it.
I'm happy you said that as well. It's like you know what I'm about to say. So how does that lead to your mental health? How does that?
It makes it rough. That's why I push young men to always have some type of outlet, because and to have some type of advocate or accountability partner. Because as men, we because of emotional intelligence and the lack thereof, we can't express ourselves to our queens, right? So at least we need to have accountability partners, peers, brothers, a group of brotherhood around us, so we can be able to vent. Because, a lot of people talk about black women venting in general, but black men need to be able to vent. We have a lot on our backs, on our shoulders, from the police trying to kill us to us trying to kill us. So at the end of the day, we need to be able to express ourselves to somebody. What do they say about a pot with a top on? And if it's boiling, it's just gonna bubble up. It needs to be able to expose, and the air needs to be able to get it, and it needs to be able to release itself. If not, it's gonna blow up. If not, I'm gonna be out here doing violent things, either to my wife, to my children, or just out in the environment being a mad, angry black man.
How do we have a paradigm shift in our community to change that? I mean, I know that's tough, but I need you to kind of dig in that for me. How do we have a paradigm shift in our community?
We have to start thinking different, just in general. I mean, to this day, W.E.B. Du Bois, James Baldwin, these are great men that were homosexual, and we looked up to them, and men looked up to them. You see them as men. You see them as strong, powerful, influential men, but to this day, we still shun homosexual black men out of our communities. That can be very beneficial for our communities, but because of their sexuality, we push them out. So unless, and all together, we just change our mindset in a whole aspect, it's not going to be a shift.
If you're raising your own black boy like I am, All we can do is do the best that we can, and that's what it's about. But just make sure you're mindful and conscious of what you say and do. I'm Jillian Whitaker reporting for Better Black News, reminding you to be better.